Welcome back to the channel Safemoon Millionaires. In this video, we're going to be breaking down a full realistic price prediction for Safemoon along with my personal strategies to profit off of it and whether this is a false breakout or an actual setup to potentially reach all-time highs. So make sure you stick around till the end of the video and make sure to subscribe because it really helps out the channel more than you can imagine, and be sure to check out the Gen Z Trader Academy down below if you want to learn technical analysis for yourself and a lot more advanced trading strategies. So be sure to do that and let's get right to it. So as we know, Safemoon had their AMA yesterday and it was a lot better with a whole lot of value-packed information. And if you want to get an update on what happened or maybe you missed it, we have the live stream uploaded on the channel as well as a full update video walking you through what this means for Safemoon going forward. So be sure to check out those two videos after this one. So anyways, after the AMA, we got a buy the news and we saw this rebound higher just as we had predicted a couple days ago. You know, I'd been talking about how to probably expect more downside, but leading up to the AMA, there's definitely a very high chance that we see buy the news considering how oversold we are and the fact that Safemoon holders are just looking for good news. Now, a couple of things I want to mention is, first of all, we broke above this crucial level at 29980. I told you guys clearly in yesterday's video that if we broke above this level right over here, to expect a nice move to the upside and to be looking to buy into it. The reason being is that this is a major support level that we broke below. This was our swing point every time we dropped down, and so the fact of the matter is that the moment we broke above, we would see an influx of buyer demand that leads to a very large move to the upside. So congrats to those of you who caught the approximately 55% move to the upside from yesterday's video. Now, apart from that, if I place in the Fibonacci from this swing high down to about this swing low, we can see that we're starting to break above the 50 retracement. I mean, we're facing resistance right over here. We're facing resistance where we're starting to break, and if we can get a break above this fib level right here at about 46173, this is going to be crucial because again, that 50 retracement is like that midpoint. If we're below it, it shows there's not enough buyer demand to commit to the higher price level. But if we can manage to break above this and break above this crucial level of resistance that we have going on over here, we can probably expect a much larger move to the upside, because definitely just like right over here, right on this break, we saw an influx of buyers stepping up because it was a major breakout. Same thing right over here. Once we break above the 50 retracement, you can definitely expect a big influx of buyers to see that and be like, wow, this is a really big break. Let's also jump in. Let's, in a way, FOMO into it. So what you'll see if we get a definitive break above here is probably we'll continue trading upwards over the next couple of days to the long term. Now, if I remove the Fibonacci for just 1 second, many people might look at this little rally and say, this could easily be a dead cat bounce. I mean, we saw that right over here, right? We pushed up, dead cat bounce, and we ended up dropping lower. Now, I actually don't think this is a dead cat bounce for multiple reasons. First of all, as we can see, if this was a dead cat bounce, we most likely would have been stopped right over here. As we can see, moment we got that initial break above, usually a false dead cat bounce would be we'd get that initial break and just smash right through that resistance level that we broke above. But guess what? We pulled back down, turned that previous level of resistance into support, and in fact, we formed this little symmetrical triangle and we broke out to the upside. Now, along with that, apart from that, we can see how we have this overall, lower, lower high channel that we've been trading down in. And the fact of the matter is that, as we can see, we've now broken back above that support line. You see this bottom diagonal support line, we've broken back above it, and so there's a very strong likelihood that we push up to this top resistance trend line before we see any meaningful, resistance or consolidation, right? So for those technical reasons, I don't see this as a dead cat bounce, but also including the fundamentals, guys. The fundamentals are intact as well. Like I talked about, we got buy the news because the news was amazing. They discussed the 10% transaction fee, they talked about their Safemoon hard wallet, and gave us really a lot of timelines as to when to expect things, along with the fact that tokens are continuing to be burned. As we can see for our burn report today, we can see 323.7 billion tokens burnt in the last 24 hours, in a change of about 248.7%. So essentially, this entire move to the downtrend has in a way been really healthy for the long term of Safemoon to provide stability and redistribute that Safemoon back to us shareholders, and essentially put Safemoon Safemoon's price action in control of the regular retail investors. Now, one thing I will say is that we are clearly overbought on the RSI and the MACD, which means that we will probably get some sort of small pullback. However, now that we've kind of discussed the technicals, let's talk about my price target and my exact strategy to profit along with my realistic price prediction. So now going to the 4-hour chart for just 1 second, we can see a really big thing. We've broken above the 9 EMA, which is this blue line, right? Essentially, by breaking above the 9 EMA, it shows that buyers are committing to the trend reversal and that buyers are willing to pay a premium compared to Safemoon's shorter term average price. And now, even though on the hourly chart we seem overbought, we can see that on the 4-hour chart, which is a longer term time frame, like the red MACD line just crossed above the green signal line, the RSI is just beginning to retrace higher. So overall, on this longer term chart, we aren't overbought, meaning the longer term trend still has the potential to continue. So realistically, what I expect, if I'm being honest, is a small pullback, probably down to the 9 EMA, where we try to turn it to support. So I'm assuming we'll probably end up finding some level of support right at about this 41144 level. As we can see, it was a previous level of support right over here, support over here, and it's basically right where the 9 EMA is. So what I expect is a small healthy pullback where we get a nice healthy pullback, a nice correction before we see the trend follow through higher. And honestly, we could easily see the formation of a cup and handle at this point as well. I think it's very likely that now we finally got in our cup. We see realistically, I'm telling you guys, realistically, I know a lot of people tend to say, well, we're going to see an instant move to the upside, but I've been telling it to you guys how I see it, and that's why we've been nailing these reversals. So what I expect realistically is we continue trading sideways, maybe drift a little lower, farm our handle, so we get our cup, we get our handle before the move to the upside. And now as for why I expect us to reach all-time highs, well, this is something we've seen before. Just like right over here, we had our period of consolidation, right? We formed our cup, we got our handle, and boom, we continued much higher to the upside. And so if we have indeed bottomed over here, I honestly expect something very similar. We formed our cup, we get our handle, we consolidate for a little bit, and then we continue higher to the upside, potentially to all-time highs. Because if I actually place in the Fibonacci yet again, let's actually go back to the hourly chart. So if I actually place in this Fibonacci, from our swing high down to again our swing low, and you know what, before I even go into this, I just want to tell you guys that I'm not trying to hype up Safemoon. The truth is that Safemoon isn't perfect, okay? Make sure you do your own due diligence on your own research. As we know, Safemoon has a lot of bold price predictions, a lot of bold initiatives and targets, but they're yet to deliver on them. And if you want to learn technical analysis for yourself, because you might be a little confused, definitely check out the Gen Z Trader Academy down below. Now anyways, one thing we can see right off the bat is that if we can manage to break above this 50 retracement like we already are, then our next retracement is essentially all the way up here, our 100 level, right up here at about 68138. I mean, sure, we have our fib level over here, fib level over here, but honestly, once you break above the 50 retracement, it's very likely that, the trend overall continues higher and higher over time up to, your 100 fib level. It doesn't happen all of the time necessarily, but you can expect higher highs and higher lows, and probably the overall trend to continue higher in favor of the bulls, just because that's an area where you see an influx of buyer demand. But if we break above this, our next fib level is right at all-time highs, right over here at all-time highs. So that's why I'm saying it's a possibility that if we can continue following through on this trend and in a way, form a repeat of what we had right over here, I don't think it's out of the equation that we potentially see a recovery to all-time highs. My realistic timeline is probably a month. I know that might sound long, but I highly doubt we see this in the next couple of weeks or even a few days. I think it will take us at least maybe a couple weeks to a month to finally see a return to all-time highs if we continue following through on this trend. And it's not guaranteed. It's very likely that we push up, find resistance right over here, and then consolidate or come lower. So it's all going to rely on if we can break above this top resistance line. But if we can, then our next fib level and all-time highs is definitely in play. So with that being said, that's the video, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe and check out the Gen Z Trader Academy down below if you want to learn technical analysis and a whole lot more advanced trading strategies. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy, clocking out for now. Peace.